Have you ever noticed how easy it is to move through the world without, truly seeing it? Life moves so fast, and weirdly, it can feel like you're in slow motion all at the same time. Everyday living can start to get repetitive, and things can kind of start to feel ordinary or boring. Well, at least that's how I feel about my life. I don't know about you. When you're surrounded by the same sights every day, it's easy to stop noticing them, to stop being curious, or to grow blind to the beauty that's all around us. But I don't think that's our fault, though. Our brains are wired to tune things out so we can save energy for other stuff. However, since I've become an artist, my sketchbook and daily drawing habit has little by little been helping me tune back in. When I started making art on a regular basis, I kind of woke up to all the amazing stuff that's around me. And no, my life didn't suddenly get more exciting or adventurous. Honestly, if anything, it got way more slow and so much more quiet, especially since moving from San Diego to Washington. But I've learned to love my new slow life. I love my gentle routine, my tiny little town, and the casual, unrushed pace of life everyone seems to keep here. And all of this has sort of given me permission to stop and take time to notice the magic in my ridiculously mundane and totally ordinary life. Like this weird little plant I passed on my walk. I must have seen it about 100 times, but I only just truly saw it today. I think because somewhere during the spring it blossomed or bloomed into this crazy neon purple spiky flower. And it was so beautiful that it stopped me dead in my tracks and had me saying, "What is this?" So I sat down, opened my sketchbook, and tried to draw it. I've always had a vision of my fantasy self being this artist who gracefully paints sheep or whatever animal in a meadow on a worn-in handmade quilt with her easel and long-handled paintbrushes, wearing these messy overalls with paint all over them. And this girl is so cool and so talented, and she just creates effortlessly. But that is not my reality. For a long time, my creative process looked like an iPad on my couch, painting, it's not even really painting because you're digitally painting. It's a whole thing. I'm not going to get into it. But looking at lots of reference photos that I didn't even take myself, that I just found on the internet while watching Gilmore Girls. So I feel like that's not really the romantic, creative environment of my dreams. But yeah, I've never really felt good enough to make art out and about, in the wild. Despite my desperate desire to be able to draw or paint things from my everyday life. I really want to be that artist that can capture the moment, in the moment, if you know what I'm talking about. So I started practicing. I brought my sketchbook everywhere, and I forced myself to draw or paint anything that I saw, even when it felt weird or awkward, or people were around me, watching me, and even when the art was bad and looked nothing like the subject I was trying to draw. I just kept at it, and I just kept trying. And these plants that I saw out and about on my walk felt like another opportunity to practice. Not just making art out in the wild, but practice slowing down and taking some time to really observe my surroundings. To be curious about something and to take time to draw it and figure out what it even is. Because I feel like as adults, we're often pressured or expected to know everything. We never want to be caught looking incompetent or avoid asking dumb questions. But taking time to observe my everyday environment kind of lets me be a curious little kid again. Someone who's not expected to know everything, and someone whose sole job it is to just learn and explore and figure stuff out. During this process, I basically just gave myself permission to not know something and to just say that I don't know what it is on the internet. And I'm not embarrassed about that. Instead, I just feel kind of really excited that I found something new that I can explore and learn about. And I feel like the very simple act of not knowing is like rocket fuel for your creativity. Because wondering, what is this? Or taking a minute and really observing something to figure out its shape, what its texture is, the way the sun is hitting it, and where the shadows fall. It's just a really beautiful thing. And it's a really fun way to reconnect with our world because there is so much stuff out there that is completely worth noticing and remembering. And speaking of remembering, historically speaking, I've never been someone with a great memory. I cannot recall any of my old teachers' names or any of that stuff, and I know a lot of people can. And I just have these huge blank gaps in my childhood where I do not remember anything. Even if I go back and flip through old photos, it really just feels like the picture is telling me about my past, but from a third-person perspective. But that doesn't happen when I draw or paint something in my sketchbook. And ever since I started recording these little seemingly insignificant moments or memories by jotting stuff down or drawing little doodles of things that caught my eye, my memory has improved so much. And things just tend to stick in my brain if I draw them. So I guess you can kind of say that making art became a way for me to remember things. And now the pages in my sketchbook, while they aren't always beautiful, they do carry a lot of emotional connection and memories for me. Because when I look at them, my brain is flooded with all of these very vivid memories, everything from how I felt while I was drawing it to what I was thinking or what I was wearing that day, or even other stuff that happened after I closed my sketchbook and finished for the day. I think my sketchbook has kind of helped me hold on to these moments that would have otherwise slipped right by unnoticed or unappreciated. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that some of the most meaningful art you can create, they aren't those perfect, polished, Instagram-worthy pieces. I feel like they're the little half-finished doodles in our sketchbooks of the ordinary, real-life things that caught our eye or captured our interest. That strange plant that you walk by every day, your current favorite coffee mug that you reach for, how you felt when you woke up this morning. These are the things that tell your story. And drawing them, even as a messy, little 5-minute sketch, is a great way of saying, this happened, or I saw this, or this matters to me. So if you feel like your life is boring or ordinary or mundane, or maybe going by too fast, consider starting a sketchbook habit. Not with the goal to fill it with amazing masterpieces, but instead to fill it with moments from your everyday, ordinary, boring, and beautiful life. And if you're like, Sam, I have no idea where to start, try just starting with curiosity. Start with noticing, looking around you, and drawing what you see. Or drawing things that you don't know what they are. And let your art-making habit be your permission to slow down and notice things around you. Because at the end of the day, it's not really about filling the pages of sketchbook. It's more about being present in your one and only amazing life.